Hello, it's me. Let's learn English step by step. In this video, I will teach you 50 new words in simple and understandable ways. My goal is to help you learn English faster and more effectively. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Please remember to watch the whole video so that you can make the most of it. And at the end, I will ask you some questions about this lesson so that you can check your understanding. Let's get started with word number 1. Allocate. It means to divide or distribute something as a share or portion. For example, the government has allocated $10 million for the construction of a new school. The teacher allocated homework to her students based on their abilities. Word number 2. Insider. An insider is a person who has secret knowledge about a company or an organization and uses it for personal gain. For example, a Wall Street trader was accused of being an insider when he bought shares of a company before its merger was announced. A company's marketing team consists of insiders who know everything about their products and target audience. Number 3. Grace. Grace is a noun that can mean elegance and good taste. For example, she moved with such grace that everyone noticed her. The bride looked absolutely stunning in her wedding dress because of her natural grace. Grace can also be a verb, which means to make something more elegant or beautiful. For example, the artist used soft colors and fluid lines to grace his painting. The musician's guitar solo gracefully ended the song. Number 4. Tide. The tide is a rise and fall of the sea. For example, the tide came in and covered the sand with water. As the tide went out, we could see all the colorful sea creatures in the shallow water. The tide can also mean a period of time during which things change and develop. For example, the tide of public opinion turned against the politician after his scandal. After the new manager took over, the company experienced a positive tide of growth and innovation. Number 5. Theology. Theology is a study of the nature of God and religious beliefs. For example, the professor taught courses in biblical and moral theology. Many people find theology fascinating because it deals with ultimate questions about existence and purpose. He studied theology because he wanted to become a priest. Number 6. Squeeze. To squeeze means to press something tightly from all sides. For example, she tried to squeeze a toothpaste out of the tube. The lifeguard rescued a woman who was trying to squeeze through a crowd of tourists. Squeeze can also mean to make something smaller or tighter. For example, the jeans were too big for him, so he took them to the tailor to squeeze them. Number 7. Refuge. A refuge is a place where someone can go for protection or help. For example, the refugees fled to a neighboring country to escape the war. The forest was a refuge for the animals during the flood. Number 8. Passing. A passing can refer to something that happens temporarily or briefly. For example, he experienced a passing fancy for playing the guitar. The passing resemblance between the twins was uncanny. Passing can also be an adjective meaning temporary or brief. For example, he had a passing interest in cooking but never pursued it further. The passing visitor stopped by the store to buy a souvenir. Number 9. Reign. Reign is both a noun and a verb. As a noun, it refers to the period during which a monarch rules. For example, the king's reign lasted for 50 years. The queen's reign was marked by peace and prosperity. As a verb, to reign means to rule or to have power and influence. For example, the new leader will reign with an iron fist. Fear reigns in the kingdom of darkness. Number 10. Assurance. Assurance is a noun that means confidence or certainty. For example, he gave me his assurance that he would fix the car. Her friendly smile was an assurance that everything would be fine. Assurance can also be a verb, which means to make someone feel confident or certain. For example, the lawyer tried to assure the client that he would win the case. The teacher assured the students that they would pass the exam. Number 11. Attendance. Attendance is the act of being present at an event or place. For example, the school requires 100% attendance for graduation. The movie theater had poor attendance because the film was boring. Number 12. Plunge. To plunge means to suddenly drop or fall. For example, the stock prices plunged after the announcement. The divers plunged into the water from the top of the cliff. Plunge can also mean to dip or submerge quickly. For example, he plunged his bread into the soup. She plunged the thermometer into the water to measure the temperature. Number 13. Disruption. A disruption is an interruption or disturbance. For example, the storm caused a disruption in our travel plans. The technical problem caused a major disruption to the network. Number 14. Simulation. A simulation is an imitation or representation of a real thing. For example, the pilot practiced landing on a flight simulator. The virtual reality game provided a realistic simulation of being in the jungle. Number 15. Inappropriate. Inappropriate means not suitable or fitting. For example, the dress code prohibits wearing inappropriate clothing to school. His jokes were considered inappropriate for a family show. Number 16. Unify. To unify means to combine or unite different things. For example, the leader worked hard to unify the divided country. The new design will unify all the elements of the website. Unify can also mean to make a whole by joining parts together. For example, the architect unified the building's design with the surrounding landscape. Number 17. Foreigner. A foreigner is a person who is not a citizen of the country they are in. For example, he felt uncomfortable as a foreigner in a strange land. The hotel staff welcomed the foreigners with open arms. Number 18. Stake. A stake is a pointed wooden pole that is used for supporting plants or used as a marker. For example, the gardener used a bamboo stake to support the climbing rows. The hunters used a wooden stake to mark their spot in the forest. Stake can also mean something that is used to make a claim or bet. For example, he staked his reputation on winning the election. Number 19. Descent. Descent is the action of going down. For example, the hot air balloon made a smooth descent to the ground. The spacecraft's descent into orbit was carefully monitored by the control center. Descent can also be a noun referring to the movement of going down. For example, the steep descent of the mountain was challenging for the hikers. Number 20. Detain. To detain means to hold or keep someone. For example, the police detained the suspect for questioning. The immigration officials detained her luggage because it contained prohibited items. Number 21. Swing. Swing can be both a verb and a noun. As a verb, to swing means to move back and forth. For example, the leaves of the tree swung gently in the wind. He swung his back to the rhythm of the music. As a noun, a swing refers to a structure that moves back and forth. For example, the children played on the swing set during recess. The pendulum made a complete swing from left to right. Number 22. Spin. Spin can be both a verb and a noun. As a verb, to spin means to turn around on an axis. For example, The ballerina spun gracefully across the stage. The bicycle wheels spun rapidly on the pavement. As a noun, a spin is a single revolution on an axis. For example, the gyroscope completed one spin before coming to a stop. The washing machine spun the clothes at high speed. Number 23. Evacuate. Evacuate means to leave or move away from a dangerous place. For example, the residents were evacuated from the flood zone. The hospital patients were evacuated due to the fire. Number 24. Commerce. Commerce is the activity of buying and selling goods and services. For example, international commerce plays a vital role in the global economy. The city's main commerce district was bustling with activity. Number 25. Newsletter. A newsletter is a type of periodical that provides information about a particular topic or organization. For example, the company sent out a monthly newsletter to its customers. The blogger publishes a weekly newsletter with the latest tech news. Number 26. Storage. Storage is a place where things are kept. For example, the storage room was filled with boxes and old furniture. The cloud storage allowed her to access her files from any device. Number 27. Composition. A composition is a piece of writing on a particular subject. For example, the student wrote an essay as a composition for the class. The photographer's composition skills were evident in his stunning photographs. Number 28. Modification. Modification is the act of making changes to something. For example, the mechanic made modifications to the engine to improve its performance. The software update included several modifications to fix bugs and improve usability. Number 29. Regime. A regime is a government system or policy. For example, the new regime brought about significant changes to the country. He went on a strict diet regime to lose weight. Number 30. Accountable. Accountable means responsible and answerable for something. For example, the CEO is accountable to the board of directors. The students must be held accountable for their actions. Number 31. Equality. Equality is a state of being equal. For example, the activists fought for equality and civil rights. The judge ensured that all defendants received equal treatment under the law. Number 32. Skip. To skip means to jump or hop. For example, the children skipped rope during recess. He skipped up the stairs to meet his friends. Skip can also mean to miss or omit something. For example, she skipped breakfast to save time. Number 33. Patron. A patron is a customer who buys goods or services. For example, the restaurant relies on regular patrons to stay in business. The artist has many patrons who support her work financially. Number 34. Substantial. Substantial means large in size or amount. For example, she gained substantial knowledge in her field of study. The company made a substantial profit last year. Number 35. Nonprofit. Nonprofit means not motivated by financial gain. For example, the nonprofit organization helps animals in need. The museum is a nonprofit institution supported by donations. Number 36. Absurd. Absurd means completely ridiculous or unreasonable. For example, the idea of flying cars is still absurd. The politician made an absurd promise to double salaries. Number 37. Prey. Prey is an animal that is hunted and killed by another animal for food. For example, the lion hunted down its prey. The bird watched patiently until its prey came within range. Prey can also mean a person or thing that is targeted. For example, The loan sharks prey on desperate people. The rumors are preying on his weak nerves. Number 38. Donor. A donor is a person or organization that gives money or other assistance. For example, the blood donor saved a life was his donation. The university received a generous donation from an anonymous donor. Number 39. Ecological. Ecological means relating to the relationship between living things and their environment. For example, the forest ecosystem is endangered due to human activities. The new government policies prioritize ecological sustainability. Number 40. Limb. A limb is a part of the body that grows out of the body, like an arm or a leg. For example, he broke his limb while playing basketball. The tree had a dead branch hanging from its trunk. Number 41. Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is the authority to make legal decisions and enforce laws. For example, the court has jurisdiction over all criminal matters. The police officer exceeded his jurisdiction by arresting the suspect without evidence. Number 42. Irony. Irony is the use of words to express something different than what is literally meant. For example, the irony of the situation was not lost on anyone. Saying that someone is looking forward to doing something that they hate is ironic. Number 43. Transparency. Transparency is the quality of being open and honest. For example, the government should be transparent in its decision-making process. The company values transparency in its communication with stakeholders. Number 44. Enthusiast. Enthusiast is a person who is very interested in a particular activity or subject. For example, he met an anime enthusiast who collected limited edition mangas. The food blogger became a social media influencer after sharing her passion for cooking. Number 45. Injection. An injection is the act of putting a liquid into someone's body. For example, the doctor gave her an injection to relieve pain. The plant needs water and fertilizer injections to grow properly. Number 46. Regardless. Regardless means not to be influenced by other considerations. For example, the hikers continued their journey regardless of the bad weather. She wore a jacket regardless of the fact that it was a warm day. Number 47. Excess. Excess can be both a noun and an adjective. As a noun, it refers to an amount of something that is more than what is needed. For example, there was an excess of applications for the job. The room was filled with an excess of furniture. As an adjective, excess means more than what is required. For example, the car's speed exceeded the limit by 10 miles per hour. The dog ate an excess amount of food and became sick. Number 48. Acquisition. Acquisition is the process of getting or purchasing something. For example, the company made an acquisition of a smaller firm. The collector added a rare book to his collection through an online acquisition. Number 49. Allegation. An allegation is a statement that someone has done something wrong or illegal. For example, there were allegations of fraud against the company. The politician denied the allegations made by his opponent. Number 50. Line up. A lineup can refer to a group of people who are lined up or an arrangement of things in a row. For example, the fans lined up for hours to meet their favorite band. The store had a lineup of new products to show at the trade fair. Now it's time to check your understanding. Please answer these questions in the comments section below. What does allocate mean? What is a refuge? What is the definition of plunge? What is a substantial amount? Give 3 examples of appropriate usage from the video. Which words did you like the most? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to share it with your friends. I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep learning English. Bye.